Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. So it has been a while since I gave you guys the Trail Boss update, and I want to go ahead and let you know what's going down. Today is just fluid service. We're at about 40,000 miles, and with that being said, it is definitely time to change out the front diff, rear diff, transfer case, and transmission. You may notice a box behind me, and you already know where I'm going to go with this. If you have one of these trucks, I'm just going to cut straight to the chase on this video, but if you have one of these trucks, 5.3, 6.2. So if you have a 6-speed, 8-speed, 10-speed, it doesn't really matter what it is. All these transmissions, they just inherently run really hot, if you guys notice. So you're going to be going down the road and you're going to look at your trans temps cruising on the highway with no trailer. By default, it's probably about 192 degrees, somewhere in there. And if you have that, I'm going to show you how to fix that really quick too. So to fix those crazy high temps, this will help a little bit. Here's your part number. It's 855-84365. This is a GM bypass valve, basically, but it's not really a bypass. All this is basically is like a thermostat for the transmission, so to speak. So basically, the stock one is about 192 degrees. It will open and allow the transmission fluid to circulate through the cooler and maintain about 190. And for me, that's wicked hot. If you start pushing these trucks at all, uphill, off-road, towing, I don't care what it is. Just point it uphill at all. It's going to climb over 220, 230 very quickly. And as you guys know, heat is the killer of all. And basically, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to eliminate that problem with the heat. So the bypass valve is going to get you down to 153 degrees, 158 degrees. I think rumor has it partially opens at 153 and all the way open at 158 degrees. So that is going to help keep the transmissions way cooler going down the road, but I still had a problem off-roading this truck. This is what you may find yourself in if you do light off-roading. So yeah, 230 degrees is not ideal. I even seen temps almost reaching 240, which is seals start to harden, you're going to explode stuff. For those of you guys wondering about the truck, it is leveled. It is on a 2-inch level with cognitos and 34.5-inch tall tires. We got some goodies here for Mishimoto, and basically I want to show you guys the next phase of keeping this thing cool. And that's going to be a transmission cooler. So I'm going to get this thing tore apart, and I'm going to show you guys how small the stock cooler is. You can see it back there. Let's get to this install, and I'm going to see if we can drop the transmission temps. So I'm going to have to take all this hogwash off the front of this, and then we'll reach in behind here and start pulling off this cooler. All right, got all these little devil clips out of here. Get yourself something nice to take these out, elsewise you'll end up ping-ponging them across the shop like I kind of did on my first attempt. I just got kind of lazy with it, and I did find it. But look at this cute little transmission cooler. Look at that. Golly, boys, that thing's tiny in comparison to the Mishimoto. It's literally twice as small. So, looks like we got a bolt over here on this side we're going to take out. We got a fitting over here we're going to fiddle with and take out, and then probably drag it out of here. I did take this off, too. There's like T15s. So, not too bad so far. Probably going to regret it, but alright. Let's go ahead and get with it. We're going to finish taking the rest of this out. Alright, so I did get those annoying little clips out. You're going to have to watch when you're getting these. Use a small pick like this. This is some Hobo Freight stuff. It's a 45. Combination of that with a small flat head. They are kind of fun to get to. Be patient with them. Work them loose on one side, and then you can kind of spin it and they'll come right out. And we'll be ready to rock. Looks like this one slips in on one side, and we got a bolt holding it here. All right, boys, check this out. One on the bottom is the factory cooler, and it is a massive difference. It's literally twice the size. I mean, if I lay this over top of it, as you can see, it's literally twice the size of the factory cooler. Also, the thickness is notable here. Look at this. Really lightweight, cheap, flimsy little thing. Look at this guy. Way thicker, like twice as thick, I would say, and twice as long as well. So look at the brackets as well, Mishimoto. I'm going to brag on them for a minute. They did put factory style fittings on here, as well as a place to hold it as you tighten everything up. This is really nicely done. They even include that little bracket here. That's the only piece that's different. So I do have that's going to adapt this guy over. But yeah, there you go. There's how much fluid you lose. Take your time, don't lose those clips, and this is not that bad at all. You don't have to take the grill off or anything yet. We're going to find out if we can do it without it. The only thing we did was took off these little core supports so the new cooler, we don't try to damage the fins getting it in here. So let's go ahead and slap that in real quick. All right, boys, well, it was a little bit of a fight, but I got it in there. And as you can see, it is pretty tight in here now. So I went ahead and put these little plastic pieces back over this, but you can see this particular one I'm pointing at here. You want to make sure that you've got these clips out of here when you go to push them on. This one over here is a little bit of a challenge to get to. So this guy in this corner is a little bit unique because this particular one you have to kind of bend the line a little bit. So if I can get down here to show you that a little better. There you go. Kind of maybe sort of see it. Yeah, that line right there, that one's kind of fun. You are going to have to kind of bend it a little bit. It's not a big deal, but if you're, if you're coming into this and you're thinking, yeah, this will just be a drop in, it pretty much is, but there's just this one line right there that you're going to have to bend. It is handy to have a second set of hands setting this in there, and we did take these little cross braces out. The big thing I was trying not to do is destroy the radiator, and I touched it in like one spot down there, and I bent it back with a flat head, but this thing looks great coming down the road now. I think you might be able to see the Mishimoto through the front grille now. So anyways, I'm going to have to go and brag on Mishimoto. This is probably the most well-built, integrated transmission cooler that you can get for a Silverado. It's pretty straightforward. Honestly, you may wrestle with the lines and the clips a little bit, but I don't care what you do. You're going to wrestle with the stock cooler, putting it back in with that. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead, get this thing finished up here, and then we're going to get it in the air and take you guys underneath and see what we're going to run into. So I got this thing in the air. We got everything drained out. Not too bad. Didn't make too big a mess. How about that? And wouldn't you know it, but the 6L80 trucks, guess what? You can get them off without having to do any modifications to the exhaust. I'm not sure what everyone was talking about with the pan not being able to go back on. I guess if you're 8 or 10 speed, this is going to apply to you. But if you're a 6L80 truck like myself, this is what you're going to be looking at. And the pan was very easy to get off. I've got it over here. The fluid didn't look so hot, but it's got 40,000 miles on it, so it's pretty dark. Not terrible, but it's definitely got some miles on her and seen some action. All right, so I went ahead and started adding the fluid in right here, and you can see how I'm doing this. 6L80s, I think 8 and 10 speeds are going to be the same kind of method on this, but they've got a fill plug up here, and it looks just like this. And you're going to pull this thing out, and this is going to take care of you. So you're going to take this guy out, use your little tool, pulled mine out, and I'm adding fluid with one of these Mickey Mouse pumps, but it works pretty good. I've got it rigged up into some Deck 6 here, and we're going to town, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and pump in the rest of this and see what happens. I've got to get the trans up to 160 as well, because we got to check our cooler and make sure we don't have any surprise leaks. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and we'll crank it up. So just got everything filled up using my little pump and setup station. Everything's good. I was able to get it up to 100 degrees to get 5 quarts in it, then checked, and I ended up, after I cycled through the gears on the lift, ended up needing to go about 6.5, almost 7 quarts. So be prepared to do at least 7 quarts. Now, with this massive cooler on the front, I figure I'm probably going to need a whole nother quart, which I actually have 8. So we're going to see what happens. This thing is ready to go down the road. I'm going to circulate everything one more time, and when it gets up to 153 degrees, my new thermostat should open, allowing fluid to go through the cooler. We'll top it off one more time. Hopefully all goes good. So I'm going to bring you along for a little test drive here. We'll make sure everything's good. Shouldn't be a problem, but let's go check this thing out. As you can see though, our temperatures are way down from what they were before, so extremely excited about that. Like I said, 187 to 190 was the max temp I saw, and that was a very challenging trail we were on. It had some really gnarly climbs in it. It was a good test to see how this transmission cooler held up, and keep in mind I had that thing sustained some pretty steep grades for a long period of time. We're talking first, second gear, crawling, high, most of it was 4 high, but I did have some instances where I should have switched to 4 low going down some of those hills, and I want to show you guys what temps this thing's running just cruising. If you guys can see that, but it says 149. 149 degrees, so that is extremely positive compared to where we were at. You know, we were looking at temps around 192 without the thermal bypass and without the cooler. So there you go, guys. We're gonna cap this one off right here. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. Be sure to check out all the other content coming up in the Trail Boss playlist. And if you haven't done it already, go ahead and drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the build. I'm gonna cap it off there, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.